All right, so we're going to continue with word problems. And our objective today is students will be able to identify key terms in written expressions and translate them into algebraic expressions. So keywords that we talked about last time. Addition, you can see add, plus, sum, total, increased by, more than. Subtraction is minus, difference, subtract, less than, decreased by, less. When you're looking at a word problem, when you think about the problem, we learned the 3 read strategy a few weeks ago. That's going to start coming back now. If you know the situation involves putting things together, you're thinking about adding. There's more keywords, there's more hints in word problems to tell you to add than I'm going to try to ever list out. Same with subtraction. If the thing you're thinking about involves taking something away, then you're subtracting. All right, quick check. What operation should we do? A number is decreased by 7. So you guys said mostly subtraction. Good job. So addition is not correct. Not enough information to know. I've talked about this. I tend to start throwing that in to multiple choice questions because the park does show those as an option, but just because it's there doesn't mean that's the right answer. And a lot of kids see it and they're like, oh, that must be correct. It is not. So the key in this one, for those who maybe were more hesitant with this, the number is decreased. So what operation in math makes numbers go down? You got division and you've got subtraction. When you're thinking about division, we're actually going to talk about that next. All right, division, you might see quotient or divide, but really the thing you want to look for division is that you're splitting something up into groups. That's the key with that. If the problem, when you think about the problem, what's going on there, you realize, oh, they're taking a big group of something and they're splitting it into groups, you're going to be dividing. Multiplication, per is the big one. Per is in a lot of word problems. Each, every, doubled was a special one, means you multiply by 2. Tripled is another special one, it means you multiply by 3. And of, I talked about with the warm-up this morning, you mostly see it with fractions, and it means to multiply. All right, what operation should we do? Triple a number. So let's take a look. You guys, the ones who answered, also multiplication. Good job. Yeah, when it says triple a number, you're going to multiply by 3. All right, writing algebraic expressions. We started talking about this last time, but we didn't get super far. You can translate word phrases into variable expressions. Examples, 3 more than a number. So remember we talked about how a number is like, it indicates you're going to have a variable. Because we don't know what number it is, we need that stand-in. So x plus 3. The quotient of a number in 8. Y divided by 8. 6 times a number. 6n. You get the idea. We talked about this last class, so hopefully this is just freshening our brains up. Why don't you guys try? Would like you to write an expression, 5 less than a number. So think about what operation you need to do if you're making a number be 5 less. How would you write that? All right, let's take a look and see what you guys put. So k minus 5, good. 10 minus 5. See, you don't get to pick the number. When you have these word problems in algebra, you know, sometimes you have an unknown and you have to use a variable. You can't say, well, maybe they did it for 10 weeks or maybe it was $10. Like, you can't pick your number. You have to put a variable in. That's that cardboard cutout that we talked about a little bit last time. X minus 5, n minus 5, good. So it's not 5 minus x. This would be a number less than 5 is how you would write that. So you'd be taking that number of things away from 5. But instead in this problem, you're taking 5 away from this mysterious number. That's an inequality. Subtraction, good, you're on the right track. Let's see. Again, you can't just pick a random number. Not sure where 3 came from. And don't know why we have an equal sign. But it looks like most of you are on the right track, so that's good. Let's practice again. This one's trickier. I will be thoroughly impressed with the students who get this one right. And just to throw it out there, the expression I want you to write 4 divided by the sum of a number and 7. Okay, taking a look. Close. Let's see. I saw somebody did have it. There was like one student. So these two are close. 4 divided by x or n, doesn't matter what letter you use, plus 7.
Stop.
There's one thing that's missing with that. To make sure you think about the order of operations, to make sure that you do the adding first, you need something.
Parentheses.
Yep, you need parentheses. And this person had it. And I was like, cool, somebody got it right. I am thoroughly impressed with that young lady. This one's good too. That's not how I'd write it, but they knew the parentheses part, so that's really good too. But yeah. You have a question?
Yeah, this is. I mean, it's off topic, but it's for
Is
the
it just
math.
me or are you lagging? I think it's just me.
Okay, so moving on. So word problems. You can apply this knowledge to real life situations in order to make mathematical sense of them. For example, a car was traveling 35 miles per hour for a number of hours. So a car was traveling 35 miles per hour for a number of hours. I see the word per, so I know that I need to multiply. I also see the phrase a number of hours. So I know that I don't know an actual number and must use a variable. Now, a lot of word problems aren't going to spell it out for you like that. It could just be a problem that says a car was traveling 35 miles per hour and they went however many miles. So you know that the thing you're missing is the number of hours. Like as you read the problem, sometimes you have to look for what's not written. And that ends up being your variable as well. So I know I am multiplying 35 by a variable. The problem doesn't tell me what variable to use, so I think I'll use h since it's talking about hours. Therefore, I get the expression 35h. All right, you guys try. Write an expression. Bob ran 7 times per week for a number of weeks. All right, let's take a look. So yeah, don't do this. I know I don't know why we raise children to use X for multiplication, because then we got to train you differently in high school. I don't know why we don't just use a little star symbol the whole time or whatever, but W times
That's what I said.
7. Yeah, so the problem is I don't know if your expression is WX7 or if it's W times 7, because we use X a lot in high school to represent a variable, an unknown. So you need to get out of the habit of using X's for multiplication. This is all right. You didn't need the equals X part. And when we start doing more real word problems, which I thought we would get to today, we're not. Again, don't use the X. That's fine, but really 7W is a little better. Again, the X is confusing. At least you knew it was multiplication. That's good. Okay. Yeah, you can't pick your own number. You got to use a variable. That's the point. You don't know if it's 5 weeks. The problem doesn't tell you. So because it's something you don't know, you have to use a letter. And yeah, I'm not sure where that one comes from. All right, let's try another one. The plumber added an extra $35 to her bill. So go ahead, see what you can figure out to write with that. B plus 35, that's great. Bill plus $35. We don't know what the bill is, so we have to use a variable there. X plus 35, B plus 35, good. Again, you can't make up your own numbers. I have no idea where 22 came from. P plus 35, this is fine. You didn't need the equals part. Yeah. Okay, good. Not sure where the 8 and then minus plus 6. I'm not sure where some of that came from. Okay, yeah. Looks like most of you basically got it. We'll do one more and then we'll wrap up for today. 35 fewer people came than the number expected. All right, so you guys said 35 minus x. Close. Then we have a bunch of people that said n minus 35 or p minus 35. Not sure where the plus and equal, I'm not sure where all that comes from. Expected minus 35 subtraction. Well, I guess that's sort of true. Not sure where we're going. Again, you weren't supposed to like make up a problem with 35. I don't know if that's what's going on with you guys picking random numbers. But think about it, 35 fewer people. So you have the number that is expected, and then you want 35 fewer or less than that. So you would subtract. When you think about you're taking something away from something, you then subtract, and you're subtracting from. So the letter comes first, whatever letter you pick.